morning. Thank you. I think when he was introducing, I was wondering who was he talking about. Thank you for quite an elaborate introduction. So my name is Jason Masai. I lead product at M-PESA Africa. And I'm really here to actually talk about what you're doing on the payment space, and specifically how are we creating seamless, secure, and scalable payment solutions for you gaming players in the ecosystem. A little introduction about M-PESA Africa. I know a lot of people know Safaricom. So M-PESA Africa is a joint venture between Vodacom Group and Safaricom Group. And essentially what we do is we scale M-PESA across a number of operations, product, providing platforms that scale across the continent. And just by reason, just to show the impact that M-PESA has had on the continent. A slight correction from our recent results, we serve 62 million customers across 7 markets where we have presence, 180 million transactions on a daily basis. And I'm pretty sure, a significant proportion of those transactions actually come from players in this gaming ecosystem. We serve almost, or have an ecosystem of almost 700,000 agents, which are a critical touch point for most of your customers, for them to be able to cash out and cash in value into the ecosystem so that they can be able to transact on your products. 100,000 developers, and this is where we really have quite a number of key partnerships where we allow developers to build on the M-PESA payment rails, and which I'm sure a number of you as gamers, whether in the betting space, in the gaming publishing space, already build on the M-PESA payment rails across the markets where we have presence. So I think just after getting a snapshot of just the impact of M-PESA, I think let's take a step back and just look at the context of the continent of Africa. And I think this slide is pretty significant because it actually sets the context of where we are going from where we are. By 2050, Africa will have a population of about 2.6 billion people. That will be the most populous continent on the planet. And that's really significant for some of the players in this room in terms of just your growth prospects. 60% of Africans are under the age of 25. And that's a key statistic. This population that is under the age of 25 are digital natives. And what do I mean by digital natives? This is a population that has actually been born in the social media age. They are born digital, they breathe digital, they spend most of their time online or on digital. And this is a key insight in terms of where do you need to play or where do you need to target going forward. Digital adoption is rising. By 2030, we anticipate smartphone adoption in Africa will be at around 88%. There are a number of initiatives from players like Vodacom, Safaricom, on making accessible and affordable devices available, as well as other players in the market. 1.1 billion registered mobile money accounts, according to the recent State of the Industry report by the GSMA, and growing at a percentage of 19% year on year. Very critical statistics if you need to sort of know where you need to play going forward. From where we sit, we're actually looking or seeing quite a lot of growth in the gaming space. Spotify recently paid out $59 million to African artists in South Africa and Nigeria alone. 1 billion in the year 2024 in sales in gaming in Africa. That's a key significant. If you now sort of layer it with the statistics on your right, it shows you that these numbers are actually poised to grow as we go forward. Betting, which is a key vertical for us, which you've seen growing at an exponential pace. In Nigeria, 60 million active bettors, revenue 2 billion, while in Kenya, a revenue of 1.5 billion. A lot needs to be said about Kenyans and betting. So at M-PESA Africa, we are all about creating a digital ecosystem. And from where we sit, we actually empower consumers by creating strategic partnerships with players such as yourselves who are seated in this auditorium to be able to provide a diversified product proposition for our customers. Gaming, betting is actually a critical vertical across all our markets where we have presence. And what we do, we actually enable frictionless cash in, cash out, deposit, withdrawals for both betting players and gaming publishers. On all our platforms, all our channels, both USSD and mobile app. And I think we are a critical partner because we actually enable you to increase your conversion, and most importantly is to scale. Because from a payment point of view, if you take away mobile money, it's actually impossible to actually scale some of the services that we're talking about, like betting, gaming, and so on and so forth, from a payment point of view. Now, at M-PESA Africa, we actually have adopted an API-first strategy, and this has seen us expose our APIs across each of our markets. And I'll be, in my next slide, I'll essentially be showing you one of our key product propositions, which is one API, which gives you access to the 62 million customers that we have across the continent, which I think is a really interesting, viable proposition for players like yourselves who are seeking to scale across Africa. Instead of doing market-by-market integrations, we can actually provide you with a one-point integration that can give you access to 7 markets and 62 million customers at a go. And introducing M-PESA Africa Open API. So essentially, this is a integration, whether you're a business, you're a developer, for all your payments needs across the 7 markets where we have presence. We actually give you one-point integration that allows you to scale your business across the 7 markets where we have presence. And I think for us where we sit, we really want to drive these sort of partnerships where we help you to do what you do best, which is scale your business while we take care of your payment needs. We're actually available to actually talk and see how we can be able to let you know more about our Open API platform, which I believe will be a really valuable addition if you're looking to scale across the continent. Now, with regard to creating seamless, secure, and scalable payment services, what have we at M-PESA been able to achieve? At the core of every payment journey that we develop or we ship out, user centricity is at the core of that building. How are we able to enable our customers to be able to do a payment journey with the least amount of steps so that they have a very seamless experience when they're doing their payments. Real-time transactions. If you compare it to card, mobile money, the settlement is real-time. We have a vast agent network, and I think this is a key element of our value proposition that allows our customers and your customers by extension, once they've done their payouts, to be able to access that money and be able to use it for their other needs. Lastly, we've actually made our APIs available for businesses, for developers to be able to integrate and be able to extend payment services onto your platforms and your products. From a security point of view, I have a colleague who will actually talk a bit more on what we've done on the security point of view. But just a key highlight is on KYC compliance across all our markets. We are really keen to ensure that we are KYC compliant for all customers who come on board on M-PESA. And this helps us to actually flag anonymity fraud and underage verification, is highlighted by my counterpart from Botswana, which is a key concern for US players in this industry. Encryption of all our transactions is a key element of a key standard operating procedure for everything that we do across all our platforms, just to ensure that customers can be rest assured about the confidentiality of their payment transactions, real-time fraud monitoring, as well as PIN protection for all transactions. On the scalability point of view, we provide enterprise APIs, which is APIs and tools and support as well, to enable developers and businesses to build on M-PESA. Cross-border is one of our key focus areas, and it was quite interesting to hear the speaker who just spoke before me about having a clear line of sight on cross-border transactions and monitoring. And we do have cross-border capabilities on M-PESA across all our markets and to some global nations as well. And from our point of view, everything that we're doing right now, we are doing it on a cloud distributed architecture, which essentially enables us to scale to keep up with the pace of the transactions coming through in some of these sectors. The reality of the matter is, going forward, partnership will be very critical. So from our point of view, how are we driving ecosystem collaboration? So one, with regulators, we're actually open to collaborate to create dynamic regulatory models that enable responsible gaming. To gaming partners, which is you, a lot of players in the room, we've made our APIs openly available for you to be able to consume, to help you to scale. And for investors and partners, we are actually ready to partner with you to leverage on our mobile money rails across the markets where we have presence. And last but not least, we've actually done all the heavy lifting in terms of building financial rails that can actually enable you to cater for your payment needs as M-PESA across all the markets where we have presence. And this is critical for you. As you grow, as you scale, we're actually here as a partner to actually enable you to be able to do that seamlessly without worrying about your payment needs. And lastly, right now, customers expect speed, they expect convenience, they expect intuitive user experience. The world is increasingly becoming a global village, and customers in Kenya are increasingly, or across the continent, increasingly exposed to top-notch services across the world. So the question is, how are you able to sort of benchmark and be there on top with the rest of the world? And that's a commitment we have as M-PESA Africa. And lastly, we are available to partner to enable you to do what you do best, as we help you to satisfy all your payment needs. And with those small remarks, I would like to say thank you, and happy to be part of this conversation.